Thank you for coming on into the live and sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment of which we all share an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on in each and every day, and we'll do the same without wasting a single second of your time. Bada bing, bada boom, we go. And boom indeed to the upside. Bitcoin got a little bit of rally support at that 39K region, bursting up from that zone at the 618 of this diagonal pitch fan we've had priced in for some time. So let's go ahead and look at the liquidity. What is the liquidity? Well, people lock their liquidity into the charts to get burned to a crisp by the market maker for not using a stop loss, and we get to see where the stop losses are and who got hit. So let's do it now. In the last 24 hours, 30 million in shorts, 23 million in shorts, and 7 million in longs was hit. In the last 12 hours, 22. Last 4 hours, 20 million in Bitcoin, and an hour you had some shorts getting squeezed to the tune of 1.9 million. Not that much for the price that we went up, but we had a decent amount of volume enter on this candle that pushed us to the upside. Do we see a little bit of a retrace and continuation on this idea? Let's go ahead and look into the liquidity of the liquidity heat map here on CoinAnk. We're going to use multiple for different integers we can see here, so it looks like we could still retrace down into some of these levels like 40,005 and possibly come down to that 40,003-ish region to get some of this liquidity out on a retrace idea. And also if we come to this, where is it, the heat map, We came up to both sides here and we cleared this side of the table. Are we going to come back down and grab some of this in the candle that we broke out from here at 40,406? If we go to the last 12 hours, there's some more down here at 39.723 million down there to be exact. Let's go check out the liquidity on Binance using a free indicator called liquidation levels by ML application 0.1 to see every 100k trader, and go to the 15-minute time frame. Okay, so we're going to do this now. Let that load. It's accessing the API for the perpetual contracts. Shout out to everyone here. What's up? Hey, CNC, how you doing? Let's load, please. So we had that nice little breakaway. There was a cloud inversion here on Momentum Master at that 786 zone. I was saying if we were going to drop, we would have this trapdoor activated from the 706. We had that happen a little bit last night on Thursday, and we came down and replenished back here at 36.5, no follow through, and came back to reclaim the 786 here, and then meandered around the 786 another time, and then we were gone from that point. This is the bearish trend based fib, and this is where you show resistance on your way back out of that bearish projection, and we came all the way down to the 1 level. So the fib already did its business, came down to the 38.9 region. 38.888 was what we were looking at, and then we were looking for a possible double bottom tap at the 786. Didn't get it, and they left without us so far, but we were watching it progress and keeping people up to date nonetheless. Do we see a little bit of a retrace into this area here? There is a gap in this region. Do they come back, or is it breakaway squeeze shorts season to come back into these levels up above here? Why is this not loading? It should be loading the liquidation levels. Hold up. Maybe because I'm streaming. Let's just see. Feeling a little bit better now. I was having a bout with COVID for the last few days. Sorry, my streaming schedule's been a bit off. I've been in bed most of the time. Fever went down after the first day, but I was kind of tired after that. So we're knocked out most of the 25xers. There's more 100x shorts entering right now. You can see there's a 2.89 million character that entered here, 4.03 here as they come back into some of these 100xers.
Fatality.
And you can see this in real time yourself. If you want to see these on the chart on one of your free monitors, you can see where the stacked liquidity is. So do they muster the strength? There's not so much. They had a few traders playing in here. There is stacked liquidity down here at 39.9 if they come back down to these 100xers, stacked with the 25x brethren here. If it retraces back down to here, though, that's giving it all back. That's a swing failed to the downside, though. If you're looking for a continuation idea, you'd be looking for some sort of pullback into the area within reason, like a pocket zone here, a 706 pullback to that gap, perhaps. As it stands right now, they're capsizing the 100x longs that broke breakout traders from here. They're gobbling up their liquidity as we speak, and that is the liquidity. The math we had jet hello on for this confluence of this impulse. If you retrace down into here, then you could be coming up into this level. If you can't muster the strength here, if you fade at this 2.7 level and retrace down into the open, the London close, and then possibly make a move up to here, Let's go ahead and expand to the total market cap. Got a little bit of a boost here, getting some 1.4142, an increase of 40 billion. Let's see what total 3 is doing. So we had some altcoin stuff, so let's go look at crypto bubbles. I had a lot rising in the last hour. Avenir, OKB. What is OKB? OKB. And that is that. If you want to see the BTC dominance taking back a bit of control, USDT dominance dropping as we come lower. We came to that level we were looking at. Let's go ahead and throw on our momentum indicator. Let's move a little bit faster today. I'm going to try to trade NQ, so we'll do a little bit of NQ analysis. So we're looking at the pullback for the USDT dominance. We finally got it to this region. Took a little bit hot minute, but we're getting this pullback to that level. Do we see this continuation down to here, to this BPR fair value gap range? All right. Let's go through on the momentum here. Link in the description for more. Okay, things are laggy. My wife must be playing some Switch or something. Scroll down to features, toggle everything at your leisure, and you can see the trend cloud, the baselines, the stochastic array, and more dynamic alerts to your phone, so you can stay plugged in with or without anyone. And so let's throw this on real quick. So we were seeing the rocket ship down here on USDT dominance as we were peaking out for Bitcoin, suggesting that we would get kicked into USDT for the swing reversal play. We were seeing the cloud on the 12-hour when we had that candle of conviction close, a shallow retrace and continuation. It was very bearish for the market, bullish for USDT dominance, meaning it will kick them out. Even this rise here, does this mean that we will just continue on the path to knock more people into USDT? Not so much. USDT was entered here. Was this people on the sidelines for putting their money into that? If you look at the Bitcoin dominance, we see that the cross-up event of the 12-hour cascaded off of that retrace pocket of the golden pocket quite nicely. We're starting to get fatigued on 5 time frames here. Does the Bitcoin dominance pull back a little bit off of the cloud consolidation and then go? Or is this breaking away from here? Let's go ahead into a lower time frame. You had a nice cloud play here on that 6-hour when we came back and flipped that cloud. We'll come back to this in a moment. Let's go to Dixie real quick. So Dixie still just been holding the line, not really clear on the direction it wants to give, just holding this range, constant in this range. Let's go see what the news has in store. So you have the pre-market news in 13 minutes. Be aware of that. Core PC price index for the dollar, red folder incoming. And that is it for your week. You have an orange folder at midnight as well for home sales. So 10 minutes for that news drop. You're seeing this pre-dump into that with the dollar. Just eating the liquidity. They have yet to recover this wick down here. Is there something they're not doing that they're going to come back and recover this on and then start to rip to the upside? Still indecisive for what the dollar wants to do. If we look at gold, let's go ahead and take a look at gold. Gold getting across up here on the 6 hour, looking like it wants to come back out of this range. Let me see what the levels were here that we were having this in. These were some bullish trend-based fib levels from way back when. Are they still valid though? Let me go ahead and remove this. We already tapped into that pool actually. So we'll just show how that this impulse here from back here, way back in February of last year, we were talking about how this 236 holding in the rocket ships wants to come up to this region, and we did wick up into that 2137 level. So just to show that that did occur, now we can reassess everything on gold. It's been a while, so let's go ahead and take a look. Gold. So here is the latest impulse retrace idea here. So you had an impulse up to here and a retrace down to here. So in November, and we held that 236 in December. We came back up, consolidated at the 786, wicked into the 1, and we're coming back down in this region here on the 12 hour. 12 hour pretty bullish in making higher lows, not making a higher high just yet from back here since December. Is gold going to make a surge up into this region? So far holding the adaptive and holding the 236, suggestive of bullishness for this bullish trend to continue. You had a nice bullish reaction off that 236 the first time, and you have no signs of coming back to that anytime soon. So store value assets looking bullish for the gold. Is the dollar kind of looks like it might come back down to this gap. You do have a gap up here, but you faked out when you came down to here and didn't recover this, so you have a weak low that you could come down to, which is interesting. And then Bitcoin, let's go back to our Bitcoin analysis. So the thing we were looking at for Bitcoin here was this cloud. We were saying, okay, it needs to get above the 4-hour cloud with conviction. Now it did that. This is a very convicted candle. You have a lot of volume. It's a green vector, so it has 200% of the previous 10 vectors 10 candles combined. So all these 10 candles combined, 200% of that is in this candle. So this was repricing to potentially make a rotation up into this region. So you'd wait for a stable pullback of some kind going into the news, and perhaps fire a round to catch that rotation play if they are going to squeeze the shorts, looking for that idea. So the thing on Momentum Master that had you at hello that we were looking at earlier today, we posted that to the group, was this inversion of the cloud. You came back above the cloud, you kissed it, held the cloud, and bang to the upside. You held the super trend too. The super trend never failed on the bullish side of things. So no matter what I wanted to see with the deeper retrace, the momentum was telling you it's not bearish, it's getting bullish, and boom, it started to bang up. So here we go. If we're going to pull back here, do we hold this standard deviation level or come back into one of these pools below? News in about 8 minutes. Let's go ahead and look at NQ real quick. NQ was coming to a region here. We were looking at the POC bounce earlier today during the London session. We pointed that out to the group, saying that that was a nice reaction. It was also the open for the week. We closed Friday up here, so we came back to the open for the week, the weekly open, and reacted off that point of control. Boom. Starting to get a cross down of the 12-hour though. This is interesting to note. The last time we had something like that, we did stop hunt, but eventually, boom, we crashed tremendously in that cross down of the 12. So do we have something similar where we come up here, recover these wicks, and then crash tremendously to the downside? That is a question to think about. If we look at the 6 hour time frame, also crossing down and seeing suppression of price, getting the 4 hour holding the cloud quite nicely, although getting the cross down of the suppression here. Coming to the hourly had that beautiful kiss to the point of control and jumped off of that for a good, cool 400 ticks. Nice play if you were so inclined. We had that nice nuke on Thursday as well play out, bearish retest drop. We were also saying that in the last analysis, if you recall from last time's stream here, we were talking about coming up and coming to that point of control. See that point of control where I was saying it would come to, and boom, it came right to the point of control. So are we going to continue higher for NASDAQ to take out these relatively equal highs up here, and then possibly dump from there, come up to here, have some sort of reaction, and then come down for the day? This would be starting in next week though. We won't really project that far into the future. But first, do we have a pullback that we could pull back into that we can look at here? 5 minutes for the pre-market news. If we're looking at NASDAQ, switching to the light version of this is what I like to do. So we get the lights, turn the lights on, see the lights in action. So if we pull back to this cloud here on the, it also happens to line up with the fib pocket level. So we could come back down for a pocket bounce idea before coming up to these regions. You have a little gap up here too that you could kind of come up to at some point. Okay, we go down into the 5 minute, starting to get a cross down of the 5 minute. Doesn't really mean much, it's only a 5 minute time frame, but we could see some fatigue here. Let's go ahead and load our ATAS and see what the contracts dragged in while that's loading. While that is loading, we are going to go ahead and switch to BTC again. Let's see what you guys are up to. So pretty much the same. A lot of times inverse to BTC, the NASDAQ will rip. So if NASDAQ rips, then BTC will dip, and then if BTC dips, NASDAQ will rip. They rarely act in tandem. Sorry, cat, you're hurting my legs. You're putting my legs to sleep. All right. So let's see, is it loading? Wait. Okay, so yeah, I think we did a pretty quick, thorough analysis of everything. Coming down to this pocket is where we would be waiting for next. So far, you're holding the super trend in the cloud here on BTC for the 5 minute. You could be reacting bullishly off of this right here, right now. You got 3 minutes for the news though. I would expect a sweep at least down to that spike liquidity down at 40,560. 40,560 puts you down in this pocket, so coming exactly down to those people is about where we'd like to see it. When does the market open? In about an hour. Exactly 1 hour, 2 minutes from now. Bitcoin is always open, but the true volume starts to open in an hour. So NASDAQ already getting this dip down pre-market. We were saying it would come down here. People that say indicators don't work obviously don't know how to read them. You can see that this cloud of momentum not making it up higher. We also have some bearish divergence burn off here. You can see the divergence crystals, the flames. These are some bearish divergence formulas. 5 time frames of information here. 5 time frames averaged. So it's getting that quantum reaction beforehand. All right, so let's go to the 1 minute here. All right, so you're getting less than a minute for that news play. You're going to see some reaction here in 23 seconds. I want to pull up the ATOS now, if it will be so kind. Can you please? There we go. Let's get the ATOS. We're going to look at the footprints. There's a link in the description for a 14-day free trial for that as well. I can happily share my settings and stuff in the Discord. Oh, come on now. Don't do this to me now. It froze. Oh, it was too... See how that spiked like that? Boom, stop, hunt, drop. Why did it close? It froze and closed. All right, so let's go. That's why I wanted to see the footprints, because I could see all the contracts getting triggered here. So you're getting some bearish divergence leading into this, kind of coming down into this idea. So this stop hunt before they drop it makes the most sense. And we don't pontificate about, you know, these smart money concepts. We just, you know, see where things go. I don't take playbooks from those guys. No thanks. Smart money is just another way to say support and resistance. Supply and demand, that's all you need to know. So we're coming back down to this by the looks of it. We said that in advance. It's a shame we didn't have it set up sooner with the footprint. All right, let's get the footprint up and running. Come on, cat. Cats clingy when they get towards the nighttime. They get really clingy. All right, so it's not opening. What is going on here? There you go. And then we go to our templates, load it. Here we go. Okay, so first connect. Hold on 1 second. Okay, back. All right, so this is the footprint charts for a TOS. A TOS, the footprint platform, can show you where all the contracts are inside of stuff. So we only had, it was very scant when they stop hunt up here like this. You saw a fair amount of, come on, can you disappear please? Thank you. And yeah, you saw a few buy stops triggered from some shorts, most likely some sells that entered here, sells. They were right in their theory, and they were right, and then they punished them, boom, and then they dropped in their favor. Now they're triggering some longs here, 117 contracts of buys entered, and a lot of sell stops. Some of those are shorters. Some of them are people that bought up here and are getting their sell stops triggered. It doesn't matter which, but you see that in the negative delta here, negative 200, as we react and slowly bleed out in the pre-market. VWAP down here at 17,525, so coming down to the VWAP, perhaps to kiss the VWAP and go to that point that we were talking about. If we zoom out here, we can see that there's a demand down here that they could go grab. That rejection wick is very beautiful for coming on lower. We have a positive 1,000 contract in session delta for the session, so coming back for these 1,000 contracts right now to make it even before the market opens makes sense. And then maybe they react off of that to go higher, similar to what we were saying in the beginning. And so this is how you can stop guessing and see what's inside the contracts. You can see this with BTC too. So let's go do that for BTC, and then we will bid you adieu. We'll do a little different today because it's a different time slot. So we're just looking at things differently than we normally do. This is the footprints, by the way. If this will load, it's a little bit laggy. I don't like how laggy it is, but it is a well-performing, well-oiled machine once it gets up and running. Okay. A little bit laggy though, but that's probably my fault because I'm using Parallels, a virtual Windows machine. All right, so we gotta switch this from a 5-minute to like a 30-minute chart so I can see more BTC in one thing. So you can see that there was some BTC bought here. There was about 388 Bitcoin bought here that aggressively pushed it up. They market bought in, it pushed it all the way up here. Those were also could be sell stops. And they came up here, triggered a bunch of buys. Some people sold. 251 bought up here. That was definitely a sell stop being triggered, or like a short stop being triggered. And now they're starting to come lower into that retrace pool idea. The interesting thing about this is you can kind of see where aggression comes in, where actual, trades take place. Because a lot of trades in candles are misleading. You look inside the candle and you see, wait, that entire candle was empty, and it doesn't, there wasn't much going on. There's a key area in the candle where they're aiming at, like here. There's a big amount traded here, and they needed to get back above that 290 region. There was 385 buys triggered there, and then they came back down and stopped, tested the sell stops, and then continued higher. Okay. All right, well, let's go back, wrap it up in a nutshell, and bid you adieu. I just wanted to see how the pre-market analysis would work. so far doing exactly as we hoped, with this coming possibly back to that 618 for a bounce. Could even do a deeper retrace, who knows? No one knows the future. And BTC also getting that retrace possibly down to here. Who knows if it will continue. We are getting that cross down event of the 15-minute of the baselines on Momentum Master with 5 time frames overbought. Getting a retrace back down to here and looking to see if it reacts is what we would be looking for if you are trying to go long. If this is just a stop hunt, you'll see it fail completely and just tank all the way down, and you could be seeing some attack to the downside too. There's no guarantees in trading or life, so be careful out there. But this is what we'd look for if you would be looking for confluence on confluence. How does it react at this 0.65 region? Does it not get accepted back into this bearish trend based fib level and bounce off of it or not? And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, folks. Let's go see what you have to say. Yo, what's up? Shaman, SMR, KC1, thank you for coming on in. So that is about it. So we basically use, normally we don't use the light version for Momentum Master, we just use regular Momentum Master, but we put these that light stuff for the scalping on NASDAQ with the footprints. But as you can see here, these baselines crossed down and we're starting to see a 15-minute retracement. So the 15-minute possibly coming down to the super trend or the cloud levels, all of these back tested to be true levels, and this confluence of the math down here for a deeper retrace. This is what we're looking for in the next few hours, leading to the silver bullet at midnight. That's why it's like put here at midnight my time, because that's the London close. So London will close, New York will be officially open, and they pass the baton, and then if it's meant to go up, it will go up to these deviation levels. Who knows? Alright, go guys, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. If you have any questions, now's the time to ask. Holding this 5-minute super trend. If it's really bullish, then it reacts off the 5-minute too. So it depends on if you got in down here or not off the cloud bounce idea. Yeah, there's just more down to this region till 40,565. Gotta go down to here, grab that liquidity first by my guesstimation. Anyway guys, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. So if I'll see you in the Discord if you're in the Discord. If not, I'll catch you at Asia market weekend update tomorrow. Trade safe. Thank you for coming on into the live, sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment of which we all share an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on in each and every day, and we'll do the same, bring the fire.